Hi, this is video 3 for step 3 of our instructions on becoming a VITA volunteer. So step 3 describes the study materials. So you're going to be taking tests online at VITA Central. We talked about creating an account to sign in and going to VITA Central where you take your tests. And when you get to VITA Central, there's going to be some choices. So let me just go take a peek at VITA Central real quick. So here's Lincoln Learn homepage. I have it bookmarked. But you know what? If you ever want to, you can just Google Link and Learn, and it comes up. We're going to go to VITA Central. So click on that link. You can probably Google VITA Central. That's where the actual tests are. Oh no, that's just explaining to you what VITA Central is. All right, so I guess we got to go to Link and Learn first. Okay, so here you go. Click on VITA Central. There we go. You got to sign in. So in step 2, we learned how to create an account, or if you're like me and already had an account, reset your password. And so now we're going to go to VITA Central and just take a look. All right, so when you're at VITA Central, there's these different tests, certification tests, right? So this video is kind of going to explain about them and what you need to do. The next video kind of future videos explain how to take the test. So, but the point is there's tests out here, and depending on what you want to do, you take a different test. So that's what I'm kind of explaining in this video. So let's go back to the instructions. The instructions in step 3, they list the kinds of tests you might take to become a VITA volunteer. And everybody who volunteers at VITA has to take the Standards of Conduct exam. And there's a publication you can use to study. If you're in one of my classes, it's in our blackboards. There's a shared link to all the documents. If your professor hasn't shared it with you, email me, I'll share it with you. You can certainly look them up online. IRS publication 4961 is the one you need to study to pass the volunteer standards of conduct. So you can click on this link. If you have this document, you can just click on the link and it'll take you there. 4961. You could also Google Hub 4961. There you go. Anyway, every test has has study materials. And every test is open book, open note, right? So you can have this book in front of you while you take the test. That's not cheating. It's fine. And so standards of conduct, this one everybody has to take, even if you're not going to do taxes. This volunteer standards of conduct ethics training, even if you're going to just be at the door and be a greeter, you have to take this one. So everybody passes this one. And the test is pretty simple. It's just going to ask you things like, is it okay to take a bribe? No, right? So pretty basic questions, but you can certainly look them all up in this book. All right. The next possible test is the intake and quality review exam. So this exam, unless the only thing you're going to do is greet people at the door and get them to sign in and, hand them a form, then you only take standards of conduct. But if you want to help them fill out the form, not do their taxes, but just if they ask you a question like, what's on this form, you need to take this intake, interview, and quality review exam. And so obviously, if you're going to prepare taxes, you have to take this one too. So anybody actually helping me prepare taxes, you have to pass standards of conduct. You have to take intake, interview, and then you take another one to prepare them. But IRS Publication 5101 is what you study to take the next test. All right. And so again, you're welcome to look up all the answers as you take the test. Not a problem. That's what these materials are for, to help you look up the answers. All right, so you have to take, for sure, if you're going to even set foot in the door, you have to take standards of conduct. If you're going to answer any questions like, oh, a W-2 is what tells you your income, or, oh, that line, you put your address there and put your birthday there. Any help with the interview form, you have to take this. Now, the next tests are the basic and the advanced, right? So after you take these first two, right, then you decide, okay, am I going to actually use the tax software and prepare tax returns, right? And again, yes, you would be helping us prepare the tax returns, but you would also have a quality review afterwards. So it's not like a mistake would slip through. So you don't have to worry. We would be there with you. And of course, usually when you volunteer to actually prepare, like these next two tests, we'd usually have you watch once and then maybe prepare one with someone watching you. And then maybe if you felt comfortable, you could be on your own. And of course, with the ability to always ask questions. It's not like you aren't allowed to ask questions while you're preparing a tax return. You come get me, I'll help you. All right, so there's two choices on preparing tax returns. One is the basic exam, okay, and one is advanced exam. Now, if you pass the advanced exam, you don't have to take basic, right? Because they just assume, okay, you passed advanced, you must know basic as well. So you pick. You're going to do basic or you're going to do advanced. So advanced would be, we don't get a lot of real advanced returns, but to do tax returns for somebody who's retired, you need to do somebody who's self-employed, but not a big business, like maybe they are an Uber driver or something, right? So anything that involves self-employment, anything that involves retirement pay, some of those you have to pass the advanced exam. Or basic, a person with a job, right? So basic or advanced, those are your two choices. If you take advanced, you can do any basic, so don't take both. If you plan to do basic and advanced, just take advanced. All right, so you need to study and you need to practice with TaxSlayer Pro, right? And so there are publications. So to do these two, to do basic and advanced, you need to understand some tax stuff, like what is a deduction, what counts as income, what is earned income, what is unearned income. So you need to kind of get some understanding of tax stuff. So if you have never had a tax class, I definitely recommend doing basic. If you have taken even the intro to tax, you can do advanced just fine. So if you already know anything about taxes, you might as well, if you took any of our tax classes, go ahead and try for advanced. But anyway, there are publications, 4012 and 17, that tell you the tax rules. So when you take the basic or the advanced exams, they'll ask you some tax questions like what is this person's standard deduction, or I don't know, what is their taxable income or something, right? So you're going to have to know a little bit about these words and that they're going to be using. So it's not real difficult. Like I said, it's mostly just people with jobs and W-2s that come in, but you may get somebody who's retired, and then that's advanced. All right, so your choices, everyone has to take volunteer standards of conduct. Pretty much everybody should take the intake quality review exam if you're even going to talk to taxpayers at all. Then basic or advanced, you would never do both. If you want to do advanced, then you automatically qualify for basic. And neither one of these two, the first two, really neither one of them require knowing much about taxes, but basic and advanced, yes, you would need to understand some tax terms. Now, there are other tests to take. We get a lot of foreign students. I would say maybe 30% of our tax returns are foreign students. Um, that one's pretty complex, but if you want to, get in touch, there is a military test. We don't ever get military people in. I don't think I've had any at all ever at VITA in 10 years. So don't worry too much about the military test. But we do get foreign students. That one's pretty complex. So if you do want to try it, let me know. I'll get you the materials. It's actually, they have a book like the 4012, but it's called the 4011, and that's all for foreign students. All right, so choose your tests and study for them. That's what this video is about. Choose your tests. I've described what they are. Study the publications so you can pass. And remember, it's open book, open note. So that's going to end this video, and I will see you on the next one.